And if I've enabled them to think differently about their problem, then at that moment, 3 or 4 times in the meeting, I'm a thought leader and I'm going to get return access.
Hello, welcome back. I'm here with John Dean. JD is a revenue and growth strategist. He's a board member, author, and a keynote speaker. Welcome, John.
Thanks, John, and what a fantastic environment for this chat.
Thanks, John. Thanks. John, look, I recently read your new book, I Dare You.
Yep.
Thank you for that. Great book.
Thank you for saying it.
You talk there in The Secrets Exposed to Selling Secrets Exposed. I'd like you to share with the audience some of your thoughts around that. Really interesting.
Okay, thank you for the question. The Secrets to Selling Exposed. One of the things we discovered with a lot of the salespeople that we talk to and work with is they tend to spend too much of their time talking about their product and their company. So one of the founding philosophies of I Dare You is I dare you not to mention your company and your product. So what do you mention in the place? So what do you put in place of that crutch, if you like, to talk to? So so while we have the dare, the next question is we want you to do what we call insightful selling, which is insightful questions, similar to an approach from the challenger sale.
Yes.
Guys, talking about being a challenger, we'll talk about insight. So insight, what is insight? Insight is when I talk to a prospect, I want to change the way they think about their problem.
I think that's absolutely valid. I mean, you go back to the issue a lot of salespeople is talk about products.
Right.
And you know, what do customers do? Yeah,
hate it.
They hate it. They can't relate to why you're talking about a product. I've got my challenges, my issues in my business, and all you want to do is talk about a product, right? Well, so that's what you're talking about.
What's really interesting from most organisations, their induction program is they spend the bulk of the time teaching about the product and the company and their process.
And so the salespeople expect they have to go out and talk about product.
Right, exactly. So if you could get a prospect in a prospect sales meeting to say either I haven't thought about that or that's a good question, how do we do that? So that's our main KPI for a sales call. What we do is we want to change the way they think about their problem, not their business and all the things that...
The way the salesperson thinks about the customer's problem.
The way the customer thinks about their own problem. Okay. So if I can get you to change the way you think about it, provide some insight based on the question...
So the salesperson's a change agent?
Completely a change agent.
Okay.
So we might say, for example, to a sales director, the third rule. We see a lot of the third rule. 30 of your team are struggling, a third of your team are okay, and a third of your team are smashing it. Most sales directors sit back and they think, yeah, you're right. That's pretty close. So who do you spend your time with? And it tends to be the third that aren't doing it as well. So they come back and say, wow, tell me more about the sort of work you do, etc. So it's providing some insight for them to say, I haven't thought about that, or that's a good question, and then following up. If I can do that 3 or 4 times in an interview, then I'm in good shape. I'm become thought leader.
And as you say in I Dare You, don't even mention the product once.
Don't mention it at all.
If you can walk out of that meeting and you haven't talked about your product, you've done well.
Done very, very well.
I think that's a bottom line. If you've done that, you probably have got some insight from the customer, because you need to get the customer talking.
Absolutely.
And if you get the customer talking about themselves and sharing their information, you're going to get insight.
And if I've enabled them to think differently about their problem, then at that moment, 3 or 4 times in the meeting, I'm a thought leader and I'm going to get return access. I'm going to get access to C-level, all the other things that a lot of those other...
They see you as bringing value to the table. They want to spend more time with you.
Completely.
Great advice, John. Thank you very much, and I look forward to the next time we talk.
Cheers. Thank you.